Good afternoon. So in this lecture, I will try to explain about landslide, which is a disaster geological process. So it's a normal geomorphic process, but it becomes disastrous when it interacts with human settlement. And you will see how to determine its development. So let's start. Okay. So the duration of this talk is 10 minutes, and I hope you will learn what is a landslide is a process in landform, the global and Indian scenario of landslides in terms of loss, and how to determine the response, as you saw in the title slide. Okay. So here, this is a video which I've taken from the Gauriganga Valley of Uttarakhand, situated. This valley is situated at the India-Nepal border. So let's see the video first. Oh, sorry. Done. So the points to catch here is uh, this part, this exposed part, which you will see from the sky or from the Google Earth, is uh, like it's. Of course, there is no vegetation, so it's bright in color. Why? Because there is no vegetation, it's barren land. So this is zone of detachment. The material has been detached through the process and it has been deposited here at the slope too. So in a landslide, you have zone of detachment from where the material comes down. You have zone of deposition where it gets deposited, and in between you have zone of transportation from where it is being transported to the zone of deposition. On the right side, you have this zone of detachment. This is a picture which I have taken through the drone. In the video, you saw my colleague is taking a video through the drone. And in this picture, you will see the deposition material has dammed the river partially. So I'll give you now the definition. Landslide is the down the slope movement of hill slope material. When I say the down the slope of the material means the material gets detached from the zone of detachment. It gets deposited to the slope too, and in between you have zone of transportation. Landslide generally occurs as a response of triggering, uh, and this triggering can be caused by rainfall, can be caused by earthquake. These two factors are most dominating triggering factors. Okay, now the potential disasters. In this case, it is landslide and its global pattern. At present, the global rate of mortality caused by landslide is 4,000 lives per year. And during 1998 and 2019, we have lost more than 20,000 lives. If we talk about India and Nepal, we share 54% of global mortality. In India alone, in the last 2 centuries, have lost 10,000 lives. I'm sure it is underrepresented because in many cases, the death caused by landslide is being associated to other factors like earthquake and rainfall. If we talk about India, particularly in Uttarakhand, landslide in 2013 flood and 2021, we have lost more than 6,000 lives. Reportedly, the actual number might be more than that. In Northeast Himalaya also, we are subjected to such life-causing landslides in Western Himalaya too. So this is a national problem. This is not confined to some specific parts of India. So how to determine the response of these geological processes? So on the left side, you will see I have taken multiple cross sections. CS stands for cross section. So I have taken 7, CS1 to CS7. This is the front view of the landslide. CS3 is representing the location of this cross section. And this is the cross sectional view of this landslide. Red represents the zone of detachment and the green zone of deposition. So material is being detached from here and it is being deposited in this zone. And in this case, you do not have any distinct zone of transportation because there is overlapping. And here I'm using finite element modeling, which I will explain in the next lecture in detail. I have used this modeling technique to determine the response. The load which I have used is gravity load, rainfall, domestic discharge, and building load. These building load and domestic discharge load are based on the Indian standard codes. Extreme rainfall load is based on the extreme rainfall at this location in the last 20 years. And these are the joint models. You can use different joint model based on the field conditions. So these two slope sections are I have taken from my paper from the landslides of Satluj Valley. So this is the configuration of finite element modeling of slope sections to determine the response. And here you have the output. So different colors represent different grading of displacement. The blue represents the minimum displacement and the red the highest. So you will see in this part where you have human settlement, you have relatively high displacement at the top and lower at the bottom, at the slope bottom. So of course you will have zone of detachment from here because the slope is steep. You have kind of a force exerting on the material, and it will since you have accumulated displacement. Oh, sorry, the total refers to horizontal as well as vertical displacement. So the material will come down from here and it will get deposited here. The red line represents the current topography. So that's all. The details of finite element modeling and the joint modeling I will explain in the next lecture. Thank you very much.